Hello, welcome to Math with Mr. Dobrescu to the rescue. Today we are going to continue solving systems of linear equations by the elimination method, part 2. Let's take a look at this equation today. We have negative 2x minus 4y equals 14. And the second equation we have negative 6x plus 5y equals 25. In the last video, we were able to add the top and the bottom equations, and we were able to cancel one of the variables. But today, it's a little bit different, because if we add the top variable, the x's and the y's, we are not able to cancel the x and the y. So we need to do something to either one of these equations in order for us to be able to cancel the x and the y. And the key word is manipulate. We are going to manipulate either one of those two equations by doing something to the equations in order for us to cancel the x and the y. What do you think we could do to negative 2x in order for us to get close enough to negative 6x, or the opposite actually, I may say, so we can cancel the negative 6x on the bottom? So what would be our first step? The magic word or the magic number is what? 3. That's right. So if we multiply negative 2x times negative 3, take a look. Negative 2x times negative 3 becomes positive 6x, right? And now we can cancel the x's, right? But remember, whatever we do to one term, we need to do to all the terms in the top equation. So, step number 1, multiply negative 3 to all terms of the top equation. To all terms at the top equation. So let's multiply negative 3 to all terms here at the top of the equation, right? So let's multiply. Negative 3 times negative 2x becomes negative 6x. Actually, positive 6x. Negative 3 times negative 4 becomes what? Positive 12y. And negative 3 times 14 becomes negative 4 times 3 times 4, 12. 2 carry the 1. 3 times 1, 3 plus 1, 4. Negative 42. And now take a look. If we add this equation to this equation now, we have a new system of equations. Now we are able to cancel the x, because negative 6x plus 6x cancels out. Okay, goes away. No more x. Let's add the y's. 12y plus 5y becomes 17y. So we have 17y equals negative 42 plus 25. Remember, opposite sign subtract. Let's subtract the numbers. 42 minus 25 becomes 17. Take the sign of the larger number. Then we'll be exact. And finally, we need to divide both sides by 17. So we can solve for y. 17 divided by 17 becomes 1y. So we get y equals negative divided by a positive becomes a negative. 17 divided by 17 becomes 1. Negative 1. Okay, so we got half of the answer. So y is negative 1. Now we need to find the x. So in order for us to find the x, we need to substitute negative 1 into one of the original equations and solve for x, right? So let's substitute this negative 1 into this y here at the top, and then let's solve for x. So we have negative 2x minus 4. Instead of y, we are substituting negative 1. Negative 1 equals 14. And let's solve this equation. Negative times a negative becomes a positive, so we have negative 2x plus 4 equals 14. Now we are going to subtract 4 on both sides. Minus 4, minus 4. 4 minus 4 cancel out. So we get negative 2x equals 14 minus 4 becomes 10. And finally, we divide both sides by negative 2. Negative divided by negative becomes a positive. So we get x equals 10 divided by negative 2. We get negative 5. X equals negative 5. So we got the x and we got the y. So x, negative 5. So our final answer is negative 5 and negative 1. Negative 5 and negative 1. That's our x and this is our y. And guess what we have to do next? We have to check to see if negative 5 and negative 1 is actually the answer, if satisfies both of the original equations. So let's plug it in. So we have negative 2. Instead of x, we plug in negative 5. Negative 2 times negative 5, we get positive 10. Minus 4 times negative 1. Negative times a negative, positive. 10 plus 4 becomes 14. That's a true statement. So it works for the top equation. And now let's check negative 5 and negative 1 for the bottom equation to see if we get a true statement. So instead of x, again, we put negative 5. Negative 6 times negative 5, positive 30. Plus 5 times negative 1, which is negative 5. 30 minus 5, 25. Another true statement. So that's it. Negative 5 and negative 1 is the solution of our systems of linear equations. Okay, it was not very complicated. And again, step number 2 was to solve for x. Solve for x and then solve for y. Then solve for y. In part 3, we are going to continue solving systems of linear equations by elimination method, but it's going to get even more complicated. Stay tuned for part 3. And please don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next video.